Test, test, test. Test, test, test 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Boy, that Ron Trippett sure is a technical wizard, isn't he? And it's not just a pretty face. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and call our meeting to order. And first order of business before we get into some of the details is we get everybody to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, folks. Please take a seat. Once we get a little more solvent, we'll probably be able to actually purchase a full-size flag and maybe even a holder. So that'll be a big day for the Northwest Montana Backcountry Horsemen. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Chip Beck, and I'm currently the president of the chapter. Do we have anybody in the audience who has joined the chapters during the month of March or April here tonight? Okay, would you guys mind standing up for just a second so everybody can see you? And then, do we have, can you stay standing? Do we have anybody that this is their very first meeting coming to? All right, well, on behalf of all the members of the Northwest Montana Backcountry Horsemen, we welcome you. And we're glad you made the effort to come on out tonight. Give them a big hand. The next thing, would all of our officers and directors just please hold up your hands? All right, all you folks that are here for the first meeting or recent, keep them up there, John. Quit hiding. All right. So, I mean, if you have any specific questions or like to know more, just please see any of us at the break or afterwards. Okay? All right, thank you very much. Our agenda for tonight, we've got a great guest speaker. I'm going to call Linda Osborne up to introduce her. After we're done with her presentation, we'll have time for questions. And then we're going to take a break for everybody to dish up for some sloppy joes, I guess we have tonight. And then once you get that, if you come back and take your seat, and we'll finish up with the business portion of the meeting. Okay? So without further ado, I'm going to give the microphone to Linda.
Thank you. I am privileged and happy to introduce Pat Young to you tonight. She's a friend, but Pat is a wonderful horsewoman, and she's very experienced. She has lots of knowledge. She's attended lots of classes. And I could go on and on. She's competed in a number of disciplines. She's had a number of horses. She loves horses, and she's very good at what she does. And she's an author, and she does therapy, many different modalities. So with no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Pat so that she has enough time to tell us some good stuff.
Thank you.
Sure.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Backcountry Horsemen. I ride a lot of the trails that you've helped, and I'm really thankful for everything that you do out there. I'd also like to thank Trippett Printing, because they printed the handouts. And if you don't have one, raise your hand and Ron will get you one. The main reason I do handouts is because lots of times I forget some things, or when you want to know the technical knowledge of the modalities I use, they'll be on the paper so you can see. I've also given you a lot of websites there for those of you who want, in-depth information. For instance, the laser that I use that I'll talk about in a minute has, 32 pages on how it works. So for those, and I had a man last year that read it. So he was an engineer and really wanted to know exactly what it did. And so the websites are a really great place to go. Before I give my talk, I want to show you some things that are up here that you'll look at when you have your break if you want to. They are products that I sell, and I sell them for the best price you can get on the internet with free shipping, because I don't have a store, but the companies have me charge a certain, I don't have any flexibility with some of the companies. One that I really like is Back on Track. And if you're not familiar with it, it's a ceramic material. They make things for horses, people, and dogs. It's a ceramic woven into the material that really, really gets rid of inflammation and pain. And they have just a number of things, and I actually have a little challenge tonight. I'll put the microphone down for a second. I have 3 things here if anybody wants to try them during my talk. This, you could wear it. This goes around your neck, and put it under your clothes so you can feel. Is there a volunteer for that? Okay. These are the riding gloves. They have also a very soft nighttime glove for people with arthritis. If anybody wants to try them, they can while I talk. Please make sure I get this stuff back. This is a very versatile piece of equipment. It is either for your dog to lay on, and honestly, if you have an arthritic dog and you lay it down somewhere, they'll find it. And I have also used it after surgery on a shoulder or lay on it. It's amazing. If there's somebody who would like to sit on it, oh, here we go. Everybody feels something different with this material. And they make all kinds of products for horses that a lot of the competitive horses use. And I use one of my favorite things that for Western horses is the Back on Track Western pad that I put something over. And I'll talk about saddle pads in a minute. But it's wonderful. It's contoured correctly. It doesn't slip. It improves the circulation of a horse's back so that they dissipate the heat better. And they just, on a long-term ride, they're wonderful. And I've tested that. I use them all the time. So you can come and look at these things. The next product comes from Horseware. I sell their blankets, the Rambos, the Amigos, and all of them. But also the Ice Vibe Therapy. You'll see me out at Rebecca Farm. I usually take care of several of the horses that come off cross country. These boots go all the way around. I have hock boots and knee boots, and it's a new technology that is pretty amazing. It combines a cold gel, and when you come through here, open it and look at the gel. You put that in the refrigerator, and then it's a vibration that actually improves circulation and pulls the heat right out of the leg. So if somebody has a horse that's recuperating from a tendon injury, or they're doing a high impact sport like eventing, almost everybody that comes off the course ices or cold washes their horses in some way. The beauty of this is you throw them on, well, you put them on, and then you don't have to do anything. You can put the horse in the stall, or you can walk them, or you can do whatever. So it's a wonderful thing. This is Ionic Therapy. It's also sold by Horseware. It's their kind of answer to the ceramic therapy. And I'm sorry I didn't get it in the handout what Ionic does, but I have a pamphlet here. This happens to be a a wrap for a horse. But it's also very good. They make the blankets for the horses. They make it all. They have not made a lot of people things yet. So, but these companies have done the science behind their work. There are a lot of companies that don't do that, and you get to figure out that whether it works for your horse or not. But these really have been wonderful. There's an Ice Vibe blanket up here that goes, it's called Sports Vibe. It's a blanket that I use on horses. Mostly I use Bio Pulse. And I'll talk about that. That therapy is magnetic therapy that's charged with the battery. I did not bring the blanket in, it weighs 45 pounds. So it goes with hock boots and leg boots, and it is a wonderful therapy, and I'm very, very busy with that at Rebecca Farm. Again, these athletes that come in are working at peak performance, and they want their muscles loose, they want to do absolutely everything for them. So I'm there usually at 5 o'clock in the morning putting the blankets on a lot of the horses. This is a wonderful thing. You probably will never need it. Soar No More is not a product that I sell. You can buy it at Murdoch's, but it's one I really believe in. I've never seen it blister a horse. It's all herbal and very effective. It also works on, some of the herbs work on thrush, so you can put it right on thrush. It's not stingy or burny, and I can laser through it. So it's one of the things that I really like. So at the break, you can come through and look at some of this stuff, and I'll be here if you want to talk more about it. I'm a horse physical therapist. I used to call my work, energy balancing, and the book I wrote is called Basic Equine Energy Balancing, and it's over 20 years old. So I am in the process of redoing that, and of course with this day and age it'll be online, and there'll be YouTube clips. So that's one of the reasons that Lynn is here filming me today. I will be giving some things that might be on the clips. Well, let me tell you, I'm not going to go into my degrees and all the classes I've taken. If I add a therapy to my bag of tricks, I always go to a really in-depth class. I don't always take the advanced level of the class. If I figure out if it's something I can use, I use it, and I've actually used almost everything from all the classes that I've taken. I've had a professional practice for 25 years. My first couple of years I traveled nationwide and I taught basic equine energy balancing, and I had clients in Florida, Colorado, New York State, basically about 5 states. The year that I traveled, I was gone 22 times. And I decided that I didn't want to be on the road. I wanted to be right here, and I wanted to practice the physical therapy that I was learning right here. Let me tell you how I got into it. I had a horse named Billy Shakespeare. He was my first event horse. I had done hunter jumpers before with a number of different horses, and I saw eventing and I was hooked. And so I helped start Heron Park, our first event, the Heron Park Horse Trials. Basically, it was a selfish thing because I wanted it here in our valley. Now it's become Rebecca Farm, which is beyond my dreams, and that's because of the Broussard family. They're wonderful, and that switchover was really smooth, and Heron Park is still out there for us all to use, and what Voice to Blacktail has done behind it is, pretty incredible for us, lasting wise. I bought Billy Shakespeare, thoroughbred that had just gotten off the track. His picture's on the back of my book here, so when I explain, or it's in my book somewhere. He was very underweight. You could see all of his ribs. It looked like his legs came out of the same hole in front. You've seen those horses? And his coat was bad, but I could see his conformation. His conformation was terrific. His trot was incredible. I knew it was 8 and 9s in the dressage arena. And when I lunged him over a little crossbar, He always tried to figure out how to go, not how to stop. And even though he had really soft, small feet, and he was 16 too, I chose to buy him and train him, and this was in my younger days, and start eventing him. Donnie Stafford figured out how to shoe him. We didn't have a lot of options then. I mean, we didn't have all the fancy shoes we have now. And because he was real low and back, he took a rim shoe and made a little wedge there for him. And we had polo shoes on the front so that his breakover was proper. And Donnie figured all that out because he was tripping everywhere. And until he got his muscle build up correctly, he reacted to all his vaccines, so I had to give him one vaccine at a time, a week apart, or I'd have fever and a huge welt. He got psoriasis on the back of his ears. In the wintertime, he had scratches. I had to really manage those. In the summertime, I used iodine shampoo every time I rode him and dried it off. So why in the heck would I do a horse like that? Well, in the 12 years I competed him, he had